Hello everyone, and welcome to this morning's Icewind Dale character breakdown stream.
Hello there.
As always, I am Artless Paper, or Sophie, and this is...
Harry, I'm the DM. I'll be the DM for the remainder of this.
Absolutely. So we thought we'd do a nice little chill morning stream where I sort of break down my character design process for my girl. Because, well, honestly, I just love gushing about character design.
Yeah.
And some people seem to be quite interested in my design process for her because I did the full thing of like silhouette concepting and getting that kind of backstory and vibe just right for her. And I'm honestly pretty proud of the entire process and think it's really helpful for anyone who is looking to create a D&D character that they can really connect with and love the design for a long campaign.
And then I believe later, if you haven't said it already, it's 20 questions.
Yes, which is another thing I saw on TikTok, funny enough, of a great way to connect with your character even more and learn more things about them that you hadn't thought of yourself. So, without further ado, let me jump in the character creation. So, I knew for this girl that I wanted someone who felt like they had a lot of weight on their shoulders. They had this long, arduous task, and Icewind Dale is a very brutal campaign. So to reflect that, I started off by doing these sort of silhouettes for getting the kind of shape right, getting that heavy feeling. So starting off, we have the classic coat and big backpack and boots. And honestly, for like a basic design, I really liked this one. But it didn't feel wintry enough, so then I took another one and loaded it with scarves and hood and big clothes. And again, I really like this, but it did lose some of that like feminine shape to it, which I still wanted her to have a hint of. So moving on, we try it with a skirt. And again, I think it's an improvement, but it felt too dressy. And this is the thing with these silhouettes, it's trying things out with little effort and just seeing what sort of design reads best, gives the kind of vibe that you're looking for. Like again with this one under it, in the bottom left, it's very Red Riding Hood. That big coat's still there, but the legs just felt like they'd get too cold. And then we move on to the classic giant cloak dragging on the ground, which honestly, I did like. I did like this one. It's very it's very simple, you know.
Yeah, it's feminine because of the like dress aspect of it.
Yeah.
However, is it practical?
Yeah, exactly. So, moving on, we went back to the dress idea with the backpack, which I'd forgotten that I needed.
Yeah, the backpack's so nice. It gives this like this huge like top heaviness that we wanted, you know.
Exactly. Like, I'll be honest, I draw D&D characters every day, right? I hardly any people ask for a backpack, and I'm guilty of this as well. Like, every adventure has one, but we just don't draw them with it, so I thought it's a cool thing to add on. So moving on for that, we got a bit more fancy with the designs. This one I really liked. It's almost like what do you call this, Charles? Like a cowl, like the half capelet.
Yeah, I'd call that like a half cape or like a capelet.
Yeah. I feel like this would be great for like a Strahd campaign, but I don't know. It wasn't getting the Icewind Dale vibes. It also read a bit too grandma for me.
Yeah, she's not meant to be old. She's meant to be young and frail, but with like the weight upon her.
Little spriteful little bunny.
Yeah.
And then I moved on to top middle design, which quite frankly I think out of everything happened to be my favourite. Just because I feel like it got that weight perfect. That big scarf.
Yeah, it's like the weight's up kind of thing. So it's more like a weight rather than like just like a shape.
Almost like she's burying herself in it, you know. I also really like the silhouette on that one. Like, it felt very bulky. And then I just continued on with some other more unique designs, which honestly I feel like look like their own characters. I mean, especially like bottom middle. Goodness me, like I want an NPC like that.
Yeah, that was kind of like a difference from the entire kind of character concept, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'd forgotten that
Big
furs were a
furs.
thing.
Kind of like Ira, with her big furs.
Oh yeah, Ira would definitely wear something like that. Absolutely. Oh, hello, 8-bit tiefling. I'm so glad you could make it.
It's a wonderful name, 8-bit tiefling.
It is a wonderful name, absolutely. So once I'd picked out the designs I kind of liked from this silhouette process, which I highly recommend by the way, I've taken like 3 minutes to sort of uh, play around with these kind of designs, I sort of mashed together something I thought would work. So this was the original concept I sort of came up with. It had that weight, it had that bulkiness, of course it has her lantern, because she's a genie warlock, and her lantern is going to be her focus, her lamp that she can go into. So that really had to be key in her design.
It's like a light in the darkness herself, isn't she?
Exactly, exactly. And quite honestly, like I think I got this one pretty right first time, apart from the ears, because I was like, ah, elf ears, it's not really working. But then we settled on the idea of a dust bunny.
Yeah. I love it because it's black and sooty, like she's actually gone inside the lamp, Like
Exactly.
we should also say spoilers for Icewind. There are going to be quite a few spoilers for Icewind. The endings, the little quests that you have to do, even the NPCs. So stay if you don't mind hearing that. um, but yeah, so common problem in Icewind is, as I said on last stream, the wood and oil shortage leading to people freezing to death. So that's kind of where she comes from. She comes from a family that was really struggling for warmth. So she embodies all of that warmth, and of course, like she also embodies like when the warmth runs out, and it's just like the ash that remains.
Yeah, and I think a bunny perfectly embodies that. It's something cozy. Something to warm up by the fire. Yeah. Plus, I mean, I love Chiffon's design, my albino rabbit, and I'm really in that vibe of like those kind of characters. For anyone wondering what type of race she is, we're going custom lineage. I imagine her mum is a half Harengon and her father's a human, so she has this kind of strange bloodline.
Yeah. Also, the aspect of each warlock has a mark upon their body.
Exactly.
So the mark could be the soot. It could be your ears. Could be
Well, the mark is the soot, as you can see, like on her face and like also on her patron's face, which is your PNG tuber.
Yeah.
I wanted them to have something linked. I think maybe down the line she might have, some more fiery bits going on, but
Yeah. We're gonna keep that for later in the campaign.
yes, commit to a Harengon. I love them, but I also love bunny girls too much, Harengon, they're great, and I will play one at some point. But the Final Fantasy Viera theme,
D&D gave us too much power.
It did.
Custom lineage.
I only found out it was a thing recently, and I'm in love. Okay, so moving on from this concept, we then worked on blocking in some colours. And I think this is where I remember we came into a bit of trouble, because I spent all this time trying to get her design to feel weighty and bulky, and I realised with everything being so dark, this feels too weighty and bulky. Like, she doesn't feel feminine, her form is lost. Like there's there was just almost too much going on, not enough contrast, you know?
So we arrived at this, which is almost the complete one. I love the focus on the lamp personally. I love the lamp. We're going to be doing so much with it.
You do love the lamp. You love objects in D&D.
I'm like a moth. I love the lamp.
You are a moth.
Actually, that's an interesting idea. I wonder if she will attract moths.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would
As
be
long
cool,
as they're not
wouldn't
clothes moths. So, seeing the problem with having like too much dark colours in her outfit, I tried to take a step away from that and just start refining the sketch, because I knew I liked the silhouette, and the colouring was an issue for a later date, you know?
Yeah.
So I started refining, adding all those details. Potions are going to be very important to her. Very, very, very. So I had to include those on her belt. Also, like, the backpack with, like, a little tankard on it.
Yeah, the tankard is also a nod to an earlier concept that we had for her, with her being more of a bar hopping girl, you know, and her lamp was going to be a tankard instead. So with the genie lamp, you can go inside it. So with the lamp, it's more like it's a warm hearth. It's a living room kind of thing. But with tankard, it was going to be, oh, you know, like you go inside and it's a bar, you can pour yourself a drink kind of thing. But we decided to move away from that.
Yeah, I did like that idea, but it felt... It didn't have that, like, warmth idea that I really wanted with her.
Yeah. There's a certain thing. It's like the warmth of a fire compared to the warmth of a drink, or the warmth of community. And seeing as we're doing this solo, she doesn't have a community, so.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, thank you. I think getting practical design is, like, one of the things that is just such a joy, especially in an Icewind Dale campaign, because it's very survival heavy, item heavy. You know, you have to worry about, like, rations and snowshoes and torches and, like, all those little bits that are usually kind of annoying in a game, but in Icewind Dale, I think it makes it feel more real, you know?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I will pay a lot of attention to, you know, rations and, you know, how much water you've got available. What a single water skin can hold 4 pints of water. You know, how long is that going to last you?
Exactly.
It's all extremely important.
I think getting this sketch down was key, really.
Yeah.
And then I just started moving on with the colours, and yeah, I'm happy with it.
I love it.
I had an envision of her wearing like dark black leathers, but honestly, I think faded brown leathers just felt right. You know, a big grey scarf, some furs in there. Her accent colour being oranges from her lamp, her eye to represent her inner fire, and of course the potions for her life.
Yeah.
'Cause she's gonna need that, you know.
She is, yeah. And it's I feel like the realism is preserved here, because leather armor isn't actually too much of a thing. You have padded cloth armor, and you have like what's it, like leather kind of wraps and things like that, but there's no leather armor. So this might well be a better protection than you know, leather armor would be.
Yeah, exactly. I just think it turned out great. And there's little hints to designs that like we really fell in love with. Like there's the bedroll right on the back.
Yeah.
There's little things like the foot wraps. When me and Charles go to LARP, like this is what our characters wore, and it's just like little things that we know are practical and actually work for these kind of settings, you know?
Yeah, the leg wraps are so nice, honestly. It's not just it's not just like having the leg wraps for practicality, but do you remember the feel of like wrapping those things tight around your boots so they wouldn't come down?
Exactly.
That was good.
Actually, it almost felt like a bonding thing, like before you went into like your battle. You know,
Yeah,
you'd sit there
exactly.
and you'd wrap your boots. You know.
Yeah, exactly. We'd check each other. You'd tuck your boots in. Yes, Beth, we've actually been to some LARPing camps. That's pretty fun.
Yes, we played. What was my character? Yana?
Yana and I was Artem.
Yeah, we were from the Vadovich.
The Varda. Yeah,
Yeah.
love it.
Which wasn't it Russian fairy tale inspired, our
It
group?
was, yeah, it took from like Russian and German fairy tales, folklore.
Really, really nice.
It was fun.
A lot of festivals and stuff. Unfortunately, British weather meant that every time I went, I got the most awful cold.
Yeah.
So we haven't been back since, but it's on our to-do list again at some point. But you know, the cooling of D&D is too strong. Takes up all our time.
It's LARP, but you get to sit at your computer at home.
Exactly, you know. And who says you can't dress up when you're playing D&D?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think if you're a D&D player and you've never experienced LARP, I think it would be a great one-time thing to do and just see if you like it, because it just hits different, you know?
Yeah, it does.
It is lovely.
It's like you have, so usually in LARP, I would say you have like a big community tent, and we'd stay in there for hours and hours, no one on their phones, nothing like that, just everyone in character. Like you'd adopt a different voice, and it really felt like a community, you know? Like everyone, you just get looked after, no matter who you were, no matter where you came from. You were just automatically part of the family.
It was lovely. Getting up and getting dressed in odd clothes every day, the taverns they put up, the other factions, people walking around in armor just casually. It's great, and
Yeah,
the
that was good.
nightlife there, just so pretty. Really like a good old D&D tavern with like straw on the floor, you know?
It was, wasn't it? And even the Empress's palace, which was a little building they constructed with a, you know, like you could see the throne from the start. Anyway, we're getting massively off track, but you've hit a soft spot for us in. we loved our LARP. We want to go back. You know, we stopped because of COVID, but yeah, definitely want to do it again.
Yeah, I mean, it's lovely. Oh, see, playing in the woods, absolutely.
Oh yes,
That was such a vibe back then, you know?
there's no better sword than a stick.
Absolutely wonderful.
And Beth, I do have a dungeon master cloak, but it's not exactly a dungeon master cloak. It's the cloak I use for LARP. So,
You didn't have a cloak, you had a cowl.
I had a cowl. Oh yeah, I did have a cowl.
You're
yeah, sorry.
thinking of my Dungeon Master cloak,
Oh, you're right.
which
I
is
am.
a very large, bright red cloak that is too big for me. Because I am short. But they didn't do short cloaks, they did normal cloaks. But it was a godsend when we went. Absolutely.
Kept you so warm, didn't it?
I mean, if you're giving your D&D character a big, warm wool cloak, just know you're doing them a favour, because it feels like wearing a blanket.
Yeah, you can't not, especially in British weather. Oh god, I think I borrowed a cloak from someone.
I think we borrowed a lot from people. We were like everyone's adopted like son and daughter there,
Yeah.
because I think we were the youngest, or some of the youngest in our guild.
What were we? 18 and 19? I mean,
Oh, we were.
younger.
I don't. Yeah. Oh gosh, we must have been.
We should talk about the design of the patron as well.
Absolutely. So my patron is your PNG tuber.
Hello.
So honestly, with this, it felt a lot more rushed. The design process wasn't the same, because clearly it is not my character, it is an NPC. But I do feel like I hit it right first time,
Oh yeah.
which, funny enough, I think was because I'd already drawn from design principles of my character, the colour palette, the sort of cowl capelet thing. I knew I wanted to go Dark Souls. I knew I wanted them to be kind of silver foxy, you know, have this inner fire to them. Yes, I was thinking, is this guy someone I would date? As I was drawing them, yeah. Slick back hair, yeah.
I love it. The best thing I love is the cracks that are appearing on my face, like this I think he's going to be a fiend. Like this fiend is, well, he's not a fiend. I think, are genies fiends? I can't remember. Genies might be elementals.
I imagined him particularly as like a spirit of the hearth. So he's like a genie, but like a spirit. And
Yeah.
like, I don't know if that makes sense, but as just a player in my head, it did.
No, I like it honestly because the hearth is it's the exact opposite of the Frost Maiden and what the Frost Maiden embodies.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who don't know, potential spoilers, the Frost Maiden wants to be alone. She craves like isolation and cold, and she has no compassion. But a spirit of the hearth would have passion and would want a community to be built. Now that's not to say that this gentleman cannot be cruel, because at the end of the day, they represent all of the tenets of fire, of warmth. You know, it can soothe you, but it can also burn. Beth says it says elementals. Okay, that makes sense, seeing as Sophie's character can speak primal.
Oh, absolutely. Does that
Yeah.
mean when we go into the lamp, you're speaking primordial to me?
Sure.
That's nice.
Sounds good. So, I was talking about the cracks, wasn't I? The cracks is it's like the warmth within him is barely contained within this human glamour,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all kind of like coming up and out, like from the neck and like out through my face, as if this form is it's almost like ill-fitting for what I truly am.
Yeah, exactly. I think fun details that I added in that are just like little nods is I had an original concept of him having a literal fire in his chest, which I then just lessened to the idea of like filigree, you know, on his outfit to represent that fire, and like a rib cage kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
Also, very small detail, but there. This is great because only people who are on this stream will know about this. There's a little love heart on his head with his curls. You can
What?
see the grey one, right? But there is another one in black next to it.
What?
It
Where?
makes a little love heart.
Wait, I need to talk more so my PNG tuber lights up. Oh my god. I kind of love it.
Yeah. Little hidden detail. There's also a love heart on his neck as well. Just above the fire. Because he's, you know, warm and loves the hearth.
Okay, I like that.
See?
That's cool.
Yeah, you can see it.
Have I got... Wait. So, this little crest upon my breast, is that the Final Fantasy thing you put on chiffon as well?
No, but it if we're getting fancy, it could be.
I mean, we have no connection, but I do like it.
It is a vibe. Oh yeah, we were talking about this yesterday, that like a warlock is just so optimal because I get the familiar. I can cast Eldritch Blast at long range, so I probably have a couple of turns in a fight before something gets to me. What else? It's spellcasting. High charisma for spellcasting, which I'm gonna need charisma if I'm the only person in a party talking to people.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just seems smart, you know.
Yeah. Plus, spoilers potentially. There are snowflake ratings for each town that you go to. 3 snowflakes is, for example, if it's 3 snowflakes for care, they have a place for you to stay, they have a place for you to eat, and you can get the supplies you need. 1 snowflake is these people are cruel. They don't like you. Where am I going? They don't like you, and they don't want you to be there. So, yeah, depending on where you go, you'll have to either use your charisma more, or just get given stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I'm kind of worried about that aspect, but that's why I've got 19 points in charisma, you know?
Yeah. Spell Sniper was actually a consideration of ours, Beth. And we decided not to take it, and we're going to take instead, I think, Eldritch Adept. Because then we get another Eldritch Invocation. We could pick up Repelling Blast, which, it increases the distance between our lovely bun and her enemies. Currently, we've got Agonizing Blast and Investment of the Chainmaster. If anyone else would like more insight into the character, we talk about it a lot on our Discord in the Icewind Solo Run chat. So anyone who is not currently part of that, I can drop you a link.
Absolutely. We can do that at end of stream as well.
Sure thing. We'll do it at end of stream.
Yes. Okay. Would you like to get into the fun bit and, do the character 20 questions?
I would love to.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, as mentioned before, this is a great thing to do with a character if they're not fully developed yet and you want to sort of gain more insight in them. For her, she's there, I could play her right now, but emotionally, is she fully built yet? No. Which is why 20 questions is such a good thing to do. So if anyone has any questions they want to pop in the chat, they don't have to be serious. They can be silly things like what's her favorite color, her favorite drink, stuff like
Just
that.
anything.
Absolutely. So Charles, while we're getting some questions going, do you wanna start off?
Yeah, I'm gonna go hard.
Okay.
So, let's see. When you found your family, what was your prayer? What did you do when you sat down at the ashes of the
You
of the
are
fire?
going in hard. Why would you start with this one? My goodness. Okay. So she came in and found her house barren and cold and her family gone. She sits in front of the unlit fire and clutches the ashes in her hands and silently prays for warmth, thinking of times of her family sitting around a hearth. And then I imagine from there she feels a hand on her shoulder of her patron. Sort of quiet grief,
Okay, so it's not so much a prayer as it is a memory.
Yeah, exactly. Like those emotions from those memories coming in so intense,
Okay. Wonderful. Should we go for a lighter tone now?
Yes, so we've got what would her Starbucks coffee order be?
Let me get up the Starbucks menu quickly.
Oh, please. I don't remember the last time I went to a Starbucks. It's making me thirsty though. I'm craving it. It's got to be something warm. They do warm drinks, don't
There
they?
you go. We want a full Starbucks order. We want drinks. We want food and any extras.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I feel like we're gonna go with a classic mocha, with an extra coffee shot in there.
Okay.
Super warm, giving her nice energy for the rest of the journey. She gets the grande. Is that the large one?
Grande. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Okay. So someone write this down.
Grande to go.
So a grande. What was it?
Venti is the largest. Okay, we're going for a venti mocha with an extra coffee shot.
Okay. And what's the food?
Food order.
Yeah, what's the food?
Oh, it's got to be like a bakery, like a chocolate muffin or something.
Okay, that sounds good. I like that.
Absolutely.
What kind of milk are we getting?
Oh my gosh, we're going milk. I don't think the people of
Yeah.
Icewind Dale can be that picky. I don't think I don't think oat milk and soya milk is a thing.
Do you mean to say that the lactose intolerant aren't catered for in Icewind Dale?
They just die.
No, God,
They have to summon special magic.
magic milk.
Yeah, magic. That is a thing in Icewind Dale.
Is it?
Okay, okay. I've got a question for myself. I know I said I couldn't do this, but you know the item, the jug.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
What is it
Okay.
called?
The alchemy jug.
So the alchemy jug contains a jug with different sort of spouts that hold an infinite amount of that liquid. So there's wine, milk, mayonnaise, or was mayonnaise the reflavor we did? I can't remember.
No, mayonnaise is actual canon.
Oil was another one.
Yep, oil.
Was
Let me just let me find it. Where is it? Icewind, and then
alchemy jug.
what's magic items though? Okay, so it was so you could have a max amount per day of these items. Acid, 8 ounces. Basic poison, half an ounce. Beer, 4 gallons. Honey, 1 gallon. Mayonnaise, 2 gallons. Oil, 1 quart. Vinegar, 2 gallons. Fresh water, 8 gallons. Salt water, 12 gallons. Wine, 1 gallon. And then our DM, Maxime, who DM'd the Icewind campaign that you can see TikToks of, gave us warm milk, 35 ounces.
Yes. Oh, have a good session. Thank you for
See you soon.
joining. I mean, she's definitely got to go with warm milk or honey. That feels right, you know?
Yeah. Maybe both.
Yes. So I think in the Successor she's got a bit of a sweet tooth. She's kind of looking for comforts, you know?
Yeah, I like that. So, with one of her flaws, she has like a need or an obligation to help, but her help comes in the form of suffering for others. So she takes on the suffering of others. It's like that friend who you can really kind of like rant to about all the bad stuff that's happened, and they never give you any bad stuff, but at home they're like a wreck, you know?
That's hitting deep, you know?
Yeah. Okay. How much would she be willing to risk to achieve her goal?
She's definitely like in this to the end. So her core philosophy is there is light in the dark and there is warmth in the cold, and kind of pulling on the idea of like there's light at the end of the tunnel. Like she is all in for this and fully believes no matter how far she goes, how far she pushes herself, she will succeed, and if she doesn't, she will try until the end. Which is, I think, is very interesting because not a lot of my characters are like that, you know?
I like it. Okay. I think, based on that, I'll pose another question. So, that's how much she'd be willing to risk to achieve her goal, but what will you do once you achieve a goal?
Oh gosh. I mean, honestly, she's looking for that warmth. I think initially she just wants to find a fire and like a home to settle down in and just see a village be normal, you know? Like a town in Waterdeep just surviving is her ideal, you know? But I think eventually my headcanon is I'd like her to settle down with someone because I love the mushy romance. I love some romance. Don't look at me like that. Your eyebrow is just raising higher and higher at me.
Who with, I wonder?
I don't know. There's some great options in Icewind Dale.
Uh-huh.
I'm really distracted now. I shouldn't have drawn my patron so good looking.
You can't have your patron. That's not how the deal works.
Yes, it is. I mean, you can work on it.
I can work on it. We are thinking of having some light romance.
Like we did with Wolfie and Cord. You know,
Yeah,
it was very sweet. And almost Sigga and Ira.
almost Sigga and Ira. I think they would have potentially banged.
Oh my gosh,
But I
no.
don't know if they would have made a family.
That's not how I pictured it.
No.
I just imagined them like, you know, like two friends who like start renting a home together.
I thought you were going to say two friends who bang.
No. Oh, chicken nugget. My little bird is tweeting away. Hello. Why are you yapping?
He wants to join in. He's got a question for you.
Tweet.
What's your question, Kia?
I think that links in very nicely with Beth's question of considering she's part Harangon, is she anxious around animals? Yeah, you know what? They're pretty unpredictable, you know? And she doesn't really have points in animal handling. She doesn't know what they could do. She's, as a warlock, aware that people can look through at her as animals. So is that suspicion there?
I mean, there are even some animals that are just possessed by the frostbane, aren't there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And there's some spooky animals in Icewind Dale. Will she be willing to do something that will put others in great risk too? This is such a great question. Oh my goodness. Okay, so in Icewind Dale, again, spoilers, but there is a couple of big decisions to do that you can benefit yourself, but you will sacrifice like a town, or you know, you sort of have to put one of your missions on hold to save like 10 towns. And I was debating, as a solo character, I don't think I will be able to save 10 towns, so I am going to have to avoid that. Which is sad because I wanted to do what we didn't do in our previous quest, but I don't think it's possible. So yeah, she's definitely willing to sacrifice in order for the greater good.
So, if we really want to get into the spoilers, um, big spoiler warning. We should talk about the dragon.
I can't remember us having to fight the dragon.
So, there is a big, I'll say there's a big black dragon. And those of you who have played will know what I'm talking about. Those of you who haven't will not. Yes. Ah, yes. The dragon. Yes. Which one? No, the dragon, the black dragon, which destroys much of the towns. There are two options when you see it, and that is, hey, we can go back and fight this, or we can, stay and do what we plan to do. And I feel like it's okay, whichever you choose, and there will be a possibility to save more lives if you choose one. But then again, you are one character, so.
Mm-hmm. There is a certain amount of meta that has to be in place. Like another one from like early game that we're gonna get into for sure is there is a hag who has a cauldron, and the hag has been cooking people in said cauldron, and it is a magic cauldron that gives like infinite food if you put water in, right?
Yeah.
But that cauldron has been cooking people, so as like a character with good alignment, I'm thinking that I don't give this cauldron to the town out of sort of a moral dilemma. But I also take it for myself because I know I will need that in my hardships.
So, yeah, that's also a big decision about, hey, do you feed the towns, or do you feed yourself and save the towns?
Yeah. I think these are the kind of decisions I'm really excited to get into in the session because I loved our Icewind group and we get on so well. But as a solo character, you're not influenced by anyone else or anyone else's decisions, so I'm excited to see what I would do or how I would have played Icewind Dale through and through, you know?
Yeah, once again, the decision is on your shoulders, as is everything.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, it's just such a good theme, honestly.
Okay, so we've had a few questions. Feel free to keep them coming. But do you want to talk about the imps?
Oh, I'm excited to talk about the imps. So for anyone who wasn't here for yesterday's stream, my character has an imp as a familiar, and she's also going to be having a spell called Flock of Familiars. And we theorized with chat that my imp would be able to hear chat through um, whispers and relay that information to me as a character. And also, people have been drawing their imp personas. So I'm gonna share the two we have already, and if you're in chat, which I think both of you are, feel free to link your socials. And let me just get these up. Here we go. I think you can see that, yes? Yes. So this beautiful imp was done yesterday by Kevin Perot. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. This is a normal thing for me. But just look at this. Look at this imp. Look at him. The Aurora Borealis, the deer. Like, I don't know how you got the Icewind Dale theme. So good. So good.
It might be the region that Kevin Poro lives, which we will not say on stream, but definitely, definitely get some inspiration from outside.
Absolutely. It's so lovely. And then the new imp we have to show off. Let me grab. Beth knows what I'm talking about. Gosh, it's you DM'd it to me, I'm pretty sure. No, it was in the artwork tab.
Is it in artwork?
Yes. Yes, here it is. Open original. Look at the imp.
There it is.
There is the imp. This is the lovely Beth's imp persona. If you'd like to share more about it, absolutely put it in chat. I love the rose on the tail. I think this is your impified version of your character Rose, if I'm right. I mean, I know Rose's design anywhere. So lovely. And the little wings, the little legs. I love it. I think it goes so well with the fire theme of the campaign.
Yeah, at some point, if you're all lucky, our lovely Sophie will draw all of our imps, maybe swapping around her character or something.
Well, I haven't even drawn my own imp yet, but
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm thinking of doing a sketch stream or using the Magma app at some point.
Sounds good.
Yes, just like I did for my concepting of Lady Wraith. And while we're all here staring at wonderful artwork, we have some fan art of our little bunny girl by Beth in the form of some adorable emotes, which I will also get up. So first of all, we have it's small, but we can appreciate. We have little love hearts, so very cute. Then we have. I'm calling this despair, so. So good. Just I can imagine this is the vibe for most of the campaign, honestly. And then last but not least, it's just glamorous, winking, lovely little soot. Honestly, these are so cute. We can't use emotes yet because I'm not affiliate, but we're getting there. We are getting there.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
We have enough followers now, so now we just have to stream a lot. Which, oh no, what a shame. We're gonna have to do more D&D.
Oh, God, what a hardship.
Yeah. Oh, a bunny imp. That would be so cute. Proper forest theme. For my own imp, I'm thinking of making them pure black, kind of soot themed, almost looking like a tapestry. Very disenchantment vibes, if we know the imp from that. Yeah,
That's a
that'd
good
be
idea.
cool.
Almost like he's just been like ejected out of fire.
Exactly. Like he comes out of the fireplace if he gets killed and needs to be remade.
Yeah.
Very sweet. Oh, yes. Funny characters. They're just too fun, you know? But I think in all, that's all we have for our lovely stream today.
Yeah.
Some fun little artwork, lovely little emotes, and of course, lovely imps. Well, I hope you enjoyed my insight into my character design process.
And thank you so much for joining us. It's really kind of you all for being here. And I hope you enjoy the upcoming campaign.
Absolutely. I can't wait to join with you both. We're thinking of doing it next Friday, aren't we?
Yes, next Friday.
If we don't get tempted to do it sooner.
Yeah.
Because you're home a little earlier this week.
Yep.
But it just depends how much planning you can do.
Yeah. If we do it on Friday, we'll be starting at around 3:30 p.m. UK time.
Absolutely. And let me just grab a server share link. Actually, can you do that, Charles?
I'll do that for you.
Thank you. Yeah, and anyone's free to join. We have a little Icewind Dale chat tab, an artwork chat tab if you're an artist, and also some opportunities to join one-shots and things that Charles runs, which, you know, very fun.
The next one-shot I'm thinking of running in the next few months is going to be it's going to be classless or subclassless, where instead of taking any subclass abilities, just take feats, and we see how much of a unique character you can build using feats.
Interesting. Okay. I imagine very roleplay heavy.
For sure.
Well, on that happy note, I think we'll leave. I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their weekend, and thank you for joining. See you soon.
Thank you so much.
Bye!
Goodbye.